Okay, so here's an overview of the newly revised progression sheets that I have done. You'll see that the file name here is Social Work Progression Sheet Thomasville. So I've got one for Thomasville, one for TCC, and then we'll need to do one for the tech, as that'll be different requirements. Down here you'll notice the sheets. Here's full-time 2-year, fast track entering the spring, part-time entering the fall, part-time entering the spring, and then a copy of the template that I used in general. So for here, filling out the lower division is largely the same, and they'll still designed to give you a lower division elective total. For the upper division, this has been slightly redesigned so that you have the course number, you have the format, hybrid, hybrid online, synchronous online, online, and there's the internship. Recommended, so that means that if the student is taking this track, which is the Thomasville full-time track, here are the normal classes that the student would be taking. Doesn't mean they have to, it just means that if they're not going by this order, then you'll need to make accommodations in other areas in order to be able to make sure that they hit this equivalent. I would encourage putting in the actual credits once the student has completed the class, and then those will get totaled down here to make sure that we are reaching the total amount of credits they need to graduate. And here is the same pull-down list that was from before. And so you put in fall, 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 and then the year, and then you'll be able to map out the entire student's progression. This is fall year 1. They should be able to see exactly what they're taking. And as opposed to the old progression sheet where you might have had a fall 2020 here, instead what you'll do is just keep this blank. Gotta figure out how to do that, make that blank. And then here's the fall 2020. And if they were going to take that down there, then you'd add that class here. But in a normal progression, they're not going to be doing that because this is the normal 2-year progression. So that should all follow. And this closely tracks the other progression sheet. Now, this includes summer classes. So if they add summer classes in the mix, you can assign those here. And again, you would do that by putting an X here saying, yeah, and you'll take an elective during that time, and then you assign it as summer 2019. And then there's also a summer included after their graduation where you can also put in additional electives that they might need to take after that year. So the fast track is sort of the same thing. You'd have to put in lower division. This really is not applicable because they're not they're coming in the spring. So here they come in the spring. These are the typical classes that they would take. And then these are the typical classes they would take during the summer, fall, spring, and then at the summer after they graduate, they'd have 2 additional electives that they would need to take. In the part-time program, that's split over 3 years. So my recommendation is these 2 classes, the fall of their first year, these 2, the spring of their second year, 2 electives during the summer, 2 classes during the fall of year 2, spring year 2, summer year 2, and then senior year 3, they have to go full-time with 12 credits, same, and then they're all set there. And then a slight revision of that is the part-time spring, where they're not coming in until the spring. I recommend that they take these 2 classes and these 2 classes during the summer, these 2 classes during the fall. They need to take 3 here if they didn't take research up there, 2 classes during the summer of year 2, and then full-time for the senior year of fall and spring. The TCC progression sheet is much like this. Here it's going to show 60 credits coming in. We can take any of those additional electives down here, then we put them in down here and put in the 3 credits so we get those totals up. So here's the full-time TCC. And so the normal full-time person is going to be taking these classes, but these are going to be online. These are hybrid, online. Spring, if you're going full-time, they don't need to take classes during the summer, but let's say somebody only wanted to take 12 credits, then we would shift this and put in the summer ones where we add the spring, or I'm sorry, the summer in the year. And full-time for that. The fast track for TCC. These folks are entering in the spring. Full-time there, 3 classes in the summer. Full-time senior year, and then 2 elective classes after they graduate, depending on how many credits they bring in. And then I did sort of the same split up that I did with the Thomasville ones for going part-time. Again, these 2 classes first, spring, electives during the summer. During the fall, the face-to-face classes. During the spring, the face-to-face classes. During the summer, finishing up the electives, practicum, and we should be good. And then with entering in the spring, it gets a little more tricky. 2 during the summer. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 during the spring, 2 during the summer, 2 during the fall, 3 during the spring, 2 during the summer, 3, and then 2 electives in the summer after they graduate. So take a look at the sheets and let me know what you think. Let's see if this format works for you. Thanks a lot.